Good morning everyone, how are you today? It is that time of the month, it is the 1st of May and I am coming to you with my currently inked. This is how it's starting out. Goodness only knows how I will finish up at the end of the month, but this is where we're at for now. Now I'm going to do something different this time round with you. I think I spoke to you about these, a company called Everyday Explorers Company. They're based in the US and they do digital printables that you can actually purchase and download and print yourself onto sticker paper. Or they also do the clear stamps as well if you want to purchase those. I'm just doing the digital printables today and I've had a great time fussy cutting all these out, so I thought it might just make things look a little bit neater or tidier. I don't know if I'll do this again, but this is where we're at for now. Make sure you stay to the end for my envelope giveaway. So let's get started. We'll start off by, my whole aim is to sort of like do a bit of a sticker thing and then an ink swatch in one of these, and they're all stickers, and then I wanted to put this underneath, so then at the end of the month we can come back and sort of, I've got a better idea of, you know, how I really felt using that pen at the time. That's what I'm thinking for now anyway. So we'll just start sticking these down. It's probably going to take me a little bit longer to do this today, so make yourselves a cuppa, like, I don't know, it's morning here, so a cup of coffee or cup of tea. Am I putting that there? Could I even do it on an angle? Let's do it on an angle so it's not all straight. And I need a black pen, don't I? So currently inked, this is going to be May 2024. Oh, can you believe it's May? I can't. Just feel like the year's off too, like it's just going by too quickly. Too soon for my liking. So more stickers. I know this is going to be the part that I struggle with, I reckon, just to sort of stick all these down. Maybe I should have done this like before the video, but you know, I want to do it as we went along. So it's the pen. So the first pen we've got in our lineup is a carryover from last month. It is the TWSBI Eco Tea in Saffron. It has a broad nib and it's a lovely, lovely, broad, juicy nib. Hang on, I need to put those over there. So let's write that down. TWSBI Eco Tea in Saffron. And it has a broad nib, like a really juicy broad nib. This is our little ink sticker that we're going to use. And these have just been, I've just printed these on normal sticker paper. It's nothing fancy. So this is probably going to take up a lot more room on my page, but anyway, you sometimes you just got to try these things, right? And just see how they turn out. Okay, and the ink is Diamine Shimmertastic and it is Cocoa Shimmer. At the end, I will come back and I'll show you all of these and how they look as well. And then I wanted to stick this under here somehow so I could do my ink rating, but it's going to take up so much room, isn't it? Maybe I need to cut a little bit more off that so it's not... This is kind of like my currently inked and currently trying things out video. It's... Anyway. Okay, let's stick that down. There we go. So we've got that set up for the month, so we can come back to it. And yeah, what do you think? Let me know if you've actually looked into Everyday Explorers, what they've got going on at the moment. I believe each month they do a release as well, like a monthly release, and I think they do subscriptions. So go and check them out. Everyday Explorers Company. I'm not getting paid to say this either. I've just stumbled across them thanks to pen friend Tina. So now the next one we've got here is the TWSBI Diamond 580. In pink. And it has a very juicy broad nib on it, which is lovely to write with. Then we need one of these little doobie whackers again. And we'll stick that down. I love this. This is actually another carryover from last month as well. Did you know the colour orange actually evokes creativity? There's a little bit of trivia for you. Okay, so the ink we've got in here is Robert Oster Orange Zest. It's a lovely shading ink, this one. And then we'll do one of these. Oh. Cut that down a little bit more. So this morning I woke up and it was 16 degrees Celsius. So it's, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's starting to feel finally a little bit more like autumn. Where we live is considered like a subtropical sort of region. So it doesn't get overly cold where we live. But I always really look forward to being able to wear long sleeves or a sweater or something. So we're finally there, at least in the morning. The days are still quite warm. They're still about 21, 22 degrees. So next one. So next pen we've got in the lineup is another carryover from last month. It's a Sailor 1911 Standard. It has a broad nib on it. It's a beautiful nib. So, Sailor 1911 Standard. It's in the black and gold finish with a 14 carat broad nib. So put that there. One of these. As you can see, I'm not going to be able to, usually I can fit about 10 currently pens on a page. This is going to take up more room, but that's all right. It's so quiet at the moment. I'm the only one who's up so far this morning. It's early in the morning. It's a lovely green ink. I really enjoy this one. So it is the Sailor Shikiori Tokuamatsu. There we go. There, I'll do one of these. And I have to kind of do this as I go because I'm not sure, like, on spacing, because this is a new sort of layout for me. It'd be really handy if I had the stamps in this set, because that would be a lot quicker than doing stickers and cutting and all of that, but working with what we've got at the moment. The shipping to Australia, I think I worked out, is about $17 US, which is very reasonable. But for every, I think I discussed this in my last video, for every US dollar, it's about $1.51 Australian at the moment. So it ends up being not just $17, if that makes sense. So the next pen we've got in the lineup is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Princess Kaguya, and it has a 14 karat medium fine nib. This is another carryover from last month as well. I've got quite a few carryovers. They haven't got a whole lot of ink in them, but they've still got ink in them, and I didn't want to waste it. I do try and write my pens dry rather than tipping ink down the sink. That's just, unless of course it's really not working in that pen. So this is a nice Sailor ink. I really like this one. It's almost a little bit like, just to give you a comparison to other inks, it's almost, well, it's a lot like Colourverse Brunch Date. This one here, though, is the Sailor Ink Studio 573. It's a really nice ink. If you're into those brownie sort of tones, orangey sort of tones. It's not as pink as Teranashi's Opera Rose though, because some people think, oh, it's a dupe for that, but it's really not. Teranashi Opera Rose has far more pink in it. There we go. So we're going to probably get 4 or 5 to a page. That's not so bad, is it? And then we've got room to come back and write, you know, when they've been written dry, and give them a bit of a rating. So I've got another carryover from last. I think I've got 6 pens that are a carryover from last month. So the next one we have in the lineup is this Pens Euphoria. It is in the Goulet Pens exclusive Earl Grey tea. It does indeed to me look like it's got tea leaves in the resin. It's just beautiful. So Pens Euphoria, and it's a Goulet Pens exclusive. It is the Earl Grey tea. Has a medium nib on it. And I'm really loving this particular ink in it at the moment. I think it just matches it so well. So the ink is by Ferris Wheel Press. And it's called Steeped Umber. How perfect is that? Steeped Umber. It reminds me of a tea, just with the word steeped. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So that was the next one we've got. So what have we got so far? 5 pens. I worked out that ideally I'm probably better off inking up 12 to 14 pens per month, because this is that's roughly how much I can write dry. Some people have commented before and said, I can't believe how many pens you write dry a month. Well, I write a lot of long letters, but I also I do a lot of journaling as well, not just in my Hobonichi, but also in an A5 notebook where all my overflow kind of brain dumping, processing thoughts kind of goes as well. So, you know, there's a lot of writing that happens each month. Which is, you know, and I use my fountain pens for to-do lists. I usually always have a fountain pen in my bag, which is my Traveller's Company, or Traveller's Factory, I think they call it, brass pocket pen. So that's always with me as well. So this next one, this is the last one that we're carrying over from April. This is the Kaweco Sport. In white. I think I've had this pen for about 6 years now. It's got a fine nib on it. And last month, I really sort of, I had used quite a few pocket pens because we went away to Sydney, and, you know, I just didn't want, I needed things that were more compact and didn't take up so much room or weren't as heavy to carry around. And I really fell back in love with the pocket pen, you know, just for its ease of use. It goes from being a very small pen to a reasonably sized pen to write with, and I found them very comfortable for long writing sessions as well. So this ink is the Jayne Poussière de Lune. Loving that color ink at the moment. It's like a dusky purple, but it's darker than the Robert Oster and Desk Bender exclusive, the Great Owl, and it's lighter than your Diatramentus Aubergine or Alexander Hamilton, sort of somewhere in between, I guess you could say. trying to think of what, oh, Hara Hara, Sailor Shikiori Hara Hara. It's a little bit deeper than that one. So that kind of gives you a bit of an indication as to what it's like if you have any of those other inks in your collection. Sorry, everyone's starting to get up now and they're being quite noisy. So they're the 6 that we've got carried over from last month. And now we're on to new pen and ink pairings. And it was, you know, I've also brought into the lineup this month 2 pens that are new to me from my Penifactor, because I'm gradually going through those and wanting to try those as well. So the pen. So the next pen we've got in the lineup is this beautiful Pens Euphoria. It's an exclusive with Atlas Stationers. I'm not sure if they're still selling it. And it's called the Gold Coast, and I have mine in a medium nib. And this is one of the Birmingham Pen Company ink mixes that we did in my last video. So I was excited to put it in this pen. So this is the Pens Euphoria and Atlas Stationers exclusive. And it's called Gold Coast. It's such a beautiful blue that we mixed. I think quite a few of you really liked that one. So do our little ink swatch. It's such a juicy writer. Let me know if you've got a Pens in your collection and whether you find the same thing. The nibs are just so juicy and beautiful to write with. So this one is a Birmingham Pen Company. And it is Boiler Steam. So the Boiler Steam ink mix that we did had 12 drops of gunpowder and 12 drops of electron. Just as a bit of a reminder. We've got so many more of those ink mixes to do as well. But it was nice to be able to mix them and then put them in pens and actually use them this month. So here we go. Oh gosh, the rain's coming now. It did start out sunny. Now the rain's here. Oh, the weather's weird at the moment. So that's the first 7 pens that we have. And the next one we're also using another Birmingham Pen Company mix that we did. This time we've got it in the Esterbrook ST in Tortoise with a medium nib. Esterbrook ST in Tortoise with a medium nib. Love this pen. Really, really love it. It was my first Esterbrook and it's still my favourite out of all the ones that I've purchased over the years. I've actually sold a lot of Esterbrook's too. if I'm not using something, I tend to move it on. Okay, so this is another Birmingham Pen Company mix that we did, and it's Birmingham Pen Company Waterfront Dusk. It's a beautiful deep purple color. Really almost like has a dusky hue to it. I'm just trying to think of a pen, another ink that it's similar to. Robert Oster Black Violet, if you've got that one. It's a lot deeper than your Diatramentus Alexander Hamilton. So I don't know, will we get, I don't think we'll get another one on the page. It'll be too, let's have a look. Let's just lay them out. See, this is the other thing you can do, is just lay them out and get a feel for what's going on, whether it'll fit. Nope. So next page, doesn't matter, we can do notes on that one. So how many have we done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8 pens so far. Okay, so the next pen we have in our lineup is one of my favorites. It is the Just Turnings Custom Copperline pen, and it has a platinum 3776 medium nib on it. It's a rose gold nib. It's a beautiful pen to write with. So this is the Just Turnings Custom Copperline. Custom Copperline with the platinum 3776 medium nib on it. It's a 14 karat nib as well. So do our little ink swatch here. Now, when I was talking about the Sailor Ink Studio 573, this ink is very, very similar to it. So this ink is the Colorverse Brunch Date. It's a beautiful ink. I actually bought, I think I've got 2 or 3 samples of this from the Desk Bandit, and they were all sold out of the ink bottle, like the bottled ink of it. So I actually got, oh well, it's on its way soon, is a bottle from Atlas Stationers is on its way, because I just enjoyed this ink so much. Okay, so that's the next one. Now, the pen that I've got in the next lineup, it's actually one from my Penifactor, and I've already been writing my currently inked sheets that will go out to pen friends this month, and really excited about this one because it just writes beautifully. It is the Renga Monteray, and it has a fine nib on it. It has a rather large nib on it. So Renga Monteray with a fine nib. It's really comfortable to write with. Is that going to stay there? Probably not. Very comfortable to write with. And it just, for a fine nib, it writes very well. It's not scratchy or anything. It's a steel nib. Thank you very much to my Penifactor for this pen. And I've got another bright orange ink in this one, which is very similar to the Robert Oster Orange Zest, but just slightly deeper. And this one is the Pilot Oroshizuku, and it's the Fuyugaki Gaki. So that's the next one we've got. Really enjoying this pen so far. So it'll be interesting to see how it ranks at the end of the month. So what are we up to now? 10 pens. I've got another 4 to go. You might hear some noise from my family now because they're all up. Okay, now the next pen is one that I wrote dry last month, very early on in the month. It's a beautiful pen. It's so pretty to look at. It's this one. It is the Just Turnings Blue Abalone, and it is beautiful. I got it in the deluxe model. So Just Turnings Deluxe. It's in the blue abalone. This is another wet rider. It has a medium nib on it, and this is one of our Birmingham Pen Company ink mixes. Oh, now this, oh, hang on, I'll just go back to this too. So this one, the Birmingham Pen Company Waterfront Dusk, that was a mix of gunpowder, 2 drops of gunpowder and 12 of the saltwater taffy, if you want to take note of that. I'm quite enjoying the way this is looking. It's looking very neat and tidy, isn't it, compared to how it normally looks. So this one, this is another Birmingham Pen Company mix that we did. Birmingham Pen Company, and this one is called Cold Steam. Now this one ended up being, sorry, excuse my arm, the formula for the Cold Steam was 5 drops of the saltwater taffy and 5 of the gunpowder and 5 electrons. So it was equal thirds, shall we say. But that's how much I did of everything to make this colour. There we go. Now, the next one we've got, I'm really enjoying the way this pen writes. I wrote it dry last month. It had Pelican Edelstein Jade in it last month. It is my Leonardo Moto Z Grande 2.0 in Planetary Nebula. Just a beautiful pen to write with. So Leonardo Moto Z Grande 2.0 in Planetary Nebula. And it has a medium nib. So I wanted to try, I was so tempted to put the Pelican Edelstein Jade in it again, and I thought, no, let's try something different. So this month I've decided to go with what I think, and seems to be for me, is a drier ink. It's a Robert Oster ink. It's a beautiful color, but I find I have to be careful, as I said, with what pen I put it in. Sorry, there's lots of noise going on now. This one is Robert Oster, and it's called Morning Mist. Now, because this pen has such a wet nib, I'm getting quite a bit of shading with this ink, which is really lovely to see. So I think a dry ink for this pen, it's actually going to work really well. Okay, so we've got two more. Oh, hang on, I've got to do this part, don't I? We've got two more left after this one. And as I said, stay tuned to the end for my envelope giveaway. So you can put your name down for that. It's basically first in best dress. So I'll go through the details at the end, but there we go. So that's that one. Now the next one we've got is also an ink mix from the other day. Oh, that's a bit crooked, Jayne. So I've got this one in my Just Turnings Unicorn Horn. It has a medium nib. It's actually the Mr. I'll show you. It's the Mr. Cypress medium nib on this one that Stephen sent me from Just Turnings. Thank you, Stephen. And I'll do one of these. This is a lovely sort of, it's a pink ink. It's not a like candy pink though. It's almost like a rosy pink. I'm trying to think. It looks a little bit, it's probably just a fraction lighter than the Noodler's Black Swan in Australian Roses, to give you a bit of a comparison. So this is the Birmingham Pen Company, and this one is called Gerbera. Now to get that ink mix, we did, let me have a look, we did 18 drops of the saltwater taffy, and we did 2 drops of the gunpowder. So if you want to note that down, or you can always go and have a look at my previous video where we actually mix them all together, and it has the formulas there too. There we go. So now we're on to our last pen, which is one from my Penifactor. Thank you, Penifactor AM. I am so enjoying having different pens to reach for. It's a lot of fun getting to know these new pens. This one is the Verde Strata. I think it's called Sapphire Blue. It's got a bit of ink there. So Monter Verde, Strata, I believe it's called Sapphire Blue, and it has a fine nib. I really love this particular ink. I think I only got it at the beginning of the year, and I've had it in a pen every month so far this year because I've just enjoyed it so much. It's a really lovely blue. It's got like a grey undertone to it. So this one is the Robert Oster Grey Seas. Really lovely ink. And we'll put one of these in. And it's not an ink that I see many people use either. So I'm not sure why, because it's a really lovely colour. If you can, try and get your hands on a sample of it, because I highly recommend it. It has a lot of shading qualities to it as well. Okay, so that is our currently inked for the month. We'll just go back and have a little look. So first up, we had the Twisby Eco Tea in Saffron. It has a juicy broad nib, and we've got Diamond Shimmertastic Cocoa Shimmer in that. Next one is the Twisby Diamond 580 in pink with a broad nib, and it's got Robert Oster Orange Zest. The next one we have is the Sailor 1911 Standard in black gold with a 14 karat broad nib, and that's got Sailor Shikiori Tokumatsu. The next one we've got is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Princess Kaguya, 14 karat medium fine nib, and it has Sailor Ink Studio 573. And then over here we've got the Pens Euphoria and Goulet Pens exclusive Earl Grey tea with a medium nib, and it's inked with Ferris wheel press steeped umber. After that, we've got the Kaweco Sport in white with a fine nib, and it has J. Huban Poussière de Lune in it. After that, we've got the Pens Euphoria and Atlas Stationers exclusive Gold Coast pen. It has a medium nib, and I haven't put that in there, so I need to do that. So medium nib, and we've put one of our Birmingham Pen Company ink mixes from our previous video in that. It's Boiler Steam. And just to recap, Boiler Steam had 12 drops of the gunpowder and 12 drops of electron. The next one after that, we've got the Esterbrook SDE Tortoise with a medium nib, and it's got Birmingham Pen Company Waterfront Dusk. And to get that mix, we did 2 drops of the gunpowder and 12 of the saltwater taffy. Next we've got is the Just Turnings Custom Copper Line with the Platinum 3776 14 karat medium nib, and we've got Colourverse Brunch Day in that. After that, we've got the Renga Monteray with a fine nib, and it's got Palo de Roshizuku Fuyugaki. After that, we've got the Just Turnings Deluxe Blue Abalone with a medium nib, and it's got Birmingham Pen Company Cold Steam. And that mix had 5 drops of the saltwater taffy, 5 of the gunpowder, and 5 of electron. After that, we've got the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 Planetary Nebula with a medium nib, and we've got Robert Oster Morning Mist in that. And then over here, we've got the Just Turnings Unicorn Horn with a medium nib. We've got Birmingham Pen Company Gerbera in that. And that has got 18 drops of the saltwater taffy and 2 of the gunpowder. And then last but not least is another pen from my Penifactor, Monter. Hi everyone, sorry to cut you off like that. My alarm went off on my phone, so I didn't get to finish the previous video of my currently inked. As always, we have 2 envelopes to give away at the end of the month. This one we will call Earth. This one we will call Coral, because this is like a reef coral. So Earth and Coral. It's open internationally. Please write Earth or Coral in a separate comment to your normal comment, just so I can see it quickly and respond to you. You will need to be a subscriber of mine over or follow me on Instagram, because that's where I get you to send me a DM with your name and address details if I come back to you and say, hey, you've won the envelope. Also have your notifications, like hit the little bell for my channel, because otherwise you won't see when I've replied to your comment. So Earth and Coral, and remember, you can use the code Jayne 10 to get 10% off with Atlas Stationers. It's JAYNE 10. So yeah, so make sure you use that code and to get 10% off your next order with Atlas Stationers. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in and watched. I really appreciate it, and I will see you back here next time. Bye.